Bobby with the Macon County Library. This is Bobby with MaconMedia.com. I am here webcasting the December 2023 meeting of the Macon County Library Board. The meeting is scheduled to start at 4 p.m. Thank you all for watching.
Hey, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. Thank you for asking. Thank you for asking.
Sure.
A couple months ago, we were getting
All four streets. The crux of the argument going on the last couple of years that censor not promote respect, love, and
Oh, I could try. A blank page. You trying to show me else? Is that what you're trying to do? Your fancy laminator?
constant promotional displays almost everything for pictures. So I've never seen an Easter display, a nationally recognized holiday of Easter, with the gospel message of salvation and stars and it hit me in the tough place.
You don't have anything over here? It might get even.
They could hold so you could send our every opportunity to put this stuff front and center.
It's a local artist, and he did a show, an art exhibit over the weekend.
So he gave a talk as well? Okay. You just look at yours. I have your This is like my
I think he specializes in fantasy style, like but also there's some really nice like kids portraits and stuff too.
I thought that was Prince.
It totally looks like apparently that is elements of like fire, water, air, but he's really nice.
Yeah, it's real. Beans. Like a guy, dad, and his kid, and then a guy with a sword. Yeah. Yeah, because there's always different sides in every narrative.
So I've got it in my
I talked
library.
to her yesterday, and she says I have a book.
No, I spoke with her, it's not tabled until the next meeting, the next commission. It was on the agenda, and that the very beginning of the meeting, they were like, we're gonna go ahead and bump this up.
We're gonna start asking questions.
What do y'all do?
Yeah, who's that behind you on the wall there? Everyone's supposed to bring a picture of them as a kid? Yeah. I was gonna say. Yeah.
Just take that one.
Yeah. Photoshop your face on it.
Okay, I thought you told me you went down there.
Go ahead and call our meeting to order. By way of introduction, I call attention to the state statute that addresses official meetings. In part, it states a person who willfully interrupts, disturbs, or disrupts an official meeting and who, upon being directed to leave the meeting by the presiding officer, willfully refuses to leave the meeting is guilty of a Class 2 misdemeanor. That said, I declare that we have a quorum. And folks, you have an agenda in front of you. And I think everybody received the minutes.
Yes.
Any corrections to the minutes? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion that the minutes be approved.
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
Okay,
Second. Okay,
second.
second.
Got that, Ms. Hart?
I did.
Okay, all in favor of approving the minutes, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Report from FRL Board, we've got 3 representatives there, Wood, Debbie, Ed, would you?
So, you want to do librarian's report first?
Oh, I should have put my glasses on, I didn't mean it.
A little bit like chopped liver, but that's
No,
okay.
no, you know better than that.
All right, I'm gonna take a sip of water because I got a lot for you guys today.
And thank you for putting that together for us, that's a lot of
pleasure.
stuff.
My pleasure. All right. Can you guys hear me? Okay. Hi, my name's Abby Hardison. I'm the Macon County Librarian, and I was going to let our board know and you guys in attendance some of the things we have going on. Many of these things we're very proud of. It's some things that we have already done. It's also things that we're currently working on and planning. So in October, and this is under the heading of digital inclusion, in October and November, a total of 40 seniors utilized tech time drop-ins with digital navigators here at NCPL. The funding for this program is now exhausted and the program is officially ended. However, should alternative funding be identified, we are interested in continuing the program in 2024 based on the positive feedback and interest from the community. We have had some folks come in since it ended and they were very disappointed. So we're hoping that we can continue that. So Southwestern Community College extended their computer class for digital literacy on Thursday mornings. It was going to end on October 12th. They extended it to November 16th due to community interest and participation. Topics such as Facebook Marketplace and how to sell things on Facebook Marketplace, online banking and bill pay were covered. Under health and wellness, on Tuesday, November 7th, the Disability Partners Core Services provided a program offering information on referrals, advocacy, independent living skills, and peer counseling for individuals living with physical disabilities. This event will be held again on December 11th, so please help us spread the word. Macon County Public Health has partnered with the Macon and Hudson Libraries to offer the Mighty Writers Storybook Challenge for kids in the months of November and December. There's still time to submit. Kids from 5 to 9 are encouraged to create their own storybook on healthy eating or dental hygiene. Kids 10 to 12 are encouraged to create a story about either the importance of mental health or the harms of vaping. Entries will be judged by health department and library staff, and the winning storybooks will be included in the library's catalog. And those topics were specifically earmarked by the health department as initiatives and topics that they see a need that be addressed in the community. So, Pisgah Legal and NC Navigators Consortium provided a healthcare open enrollment opportunity on November 15th to assist people in signing up for a portable healthcare insurance. Right now is open enrollment for the healthcare marketplace. November 28th, the Red Cross Blood Drive surpassed their goal of 44 units and collected 46 units, so good job. Via Health will continue their monthly mental health course series in 2024. Topics will include anxiety management, substance abuse, building strong relationships through effective communication. I'm really excited about this next one. Library staff are currently working on a collaboration with Crawford Senior Center to create a Memory Cafe program series in 2024. So memory cafes, this is something I just recently learned about and I felt really passionate about. They provide individuals living with memory loss and their care partners a special opportunity to socialize, connect, and build relationships and support networks. They have gained popularity nationwide since 2008. The program will combine nostalgic elements and tailored resources. So the Macon County Public Library already has a memory lane collection. It's actually down in the stacks, and our staff can show you, there's a special little area, a special area of shelving that has this specific collection of materials. And it has books, DVDs, puzzles designed for older adults with reading issues, memory loss, dementia, and whom are recovering from a stroke or other illness.
decisions about how to move forward in a position, in a job, in whatever organization it is. But then once a decision is made, I don't go out and, as a public health nurse, for example, and say, oh, I don't believe in vaccinations. Don't bring your kids in to get vaccinated. No, we gave vaccines, we believe in vaccines, and millions of children in the last 100 years have been, prevented from becoming very ill and dying because of vaccines. So this is not an unusual kind of a policy to say if you're on a board or if you're an employee, you need to uphold what decisions the employer or the board has decided on. I don't think it's...
May I make a
Yes.
point? The difference is the FRL, Ed has been on this for 6 years, I think. He has stood alone for 6 years. If you've tabled it at an FRL meeting, and he brings up that he would like, it was a miracle that Wood seconded this so he could at least read. Odd that y'all just threw out the document, which people in the public have no ability to read because you don't hand out the other documents. Any of us would have seen that this is a problem. And the fact that it is verbatim what the ALA statement is troublesome. Because I think what we in this country have learned is that the ALA does not align itself with some of the family values that are in our community. And we are supposed to be supporting our community. So let's say, fast forward, you take it back to the FRL meeting in January, whenever it is, and you take it up. Ed will be there, and he will be one vote. And as was happened when I challenged that trashy book, you can't even have a vote if somebody doesn't second it. Wood, this is the first time I've seen someone actually realize maybe we need to discuss this. Maybe Ed has a good point, because it is improper in our country to squash the ability to speak your mind. And if and he's been on this group for 6 years, and apparently, we haven't been around for those 6 years, but apparently he has never been able to represent his mores because he's in the minority. So I think if we, which we would like to do, can offer an opinion as the advisory board that surely you would like to consider people's First Amendment rights before you just sign this and expect everybody to do it. I think that's only fair.
Yeah.
That's the purpose of an advisory board, is to advise, give our opinion.
May I add that we looked at the code of ethics, we had time to review it, I think it's 10 or 11, very obvious thoughts. And Ed raised that, and I think he made a cogent comment. He said, you know what, maybe we ought to look at this. That's whatever number that is.
5.
Number 5, and we read it, reread it, and thought about it, and it was seconded that, you know what, maybe we need to think about this a little bit more. We took a vote, and it was unanimous. Everybody agreed that we should not sign it at that time. So, and just wait so that we have 2 months to let us think about it more and come back, and there may be other issues that we want to think about, or maybe we want to delete or whatever. But the point is, when it was seconded, we took a vote. And it was unanimous, the whole board. So Ed's not out there in the wilderness by himself. The whole board said, yeah, maybe we need to think about it. So let's be clear that Ed was not alone in challenging that. And it made sense. We're not going to vote on it. We're going to decide whether these code of ethics are good for Fontana. And that's what it was.
No.
Am I right about that?
That's correct.
We
Okay.
were there. We were there.
So you know it's correct.
Let's guess.
Well, does the Fontana Board already sign some sort of statement annually that's sort of unethical?
Yes.
No.
This is the first time you introduced the code of ethics.
This is new.
Right, but it's an ancient document.
No, but I thought once a year, maybe in
Conflict of interest.
Are you referring to, the,
Conflict of interest.
Conflict of interest.
That's what we signed.
yeah, that's not the same.
And does that say trustees shall not use their position to gain unwarranted privileges or advantages for themselves or others?
Is that our
It's the one right before that.
Clearly it does.
That's required.
Yeah. So we're making something and we need to move on, but I want everybody to know that this was discussed and we're going to go back and probably look at every one of those code of ethics to see whether it makes sense for Fontana. Not necessarily the New York libraries or Seattle libraries, but for Fontana. So what Ed is objecting to is there's no need to object because his request to table this was heard and agreed on by all the board.
Well, that's your opinion. That's your opinion.
But I think that the issue here for Ed is that it was unanimously supported by all and voted to be tabled, but one person out of the 12 was the one that challenged it to begin with. So I think that Ed is looking for support from this advisory board in saying that we also do stand with the people who disagree with this. I think that's at the heart of it. Not that it needs to be challenged because it already is being challenged, but the fact that this board supports that decision as well, so that he has our support as an advisory board.
That's a little bit different than what we've been talking about.
Yeah, but I think that's
if-
kind of at the heart of it.
Bill, if this board wants to,
Well, any further comment? We have a motion and a second. Ms. Hardison, would you read the motion again, please?
Sure. The motion is to scrutinize and revise the Code of Ethics proposed document so that the trustees' First Amendment rights are not suppressed.
Okay. Does everybody understand the motion? Any further comment? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you very much. Motion passed. And I don't know who needs to carry this on to the FRL board. Should it be our reps or Ms. Fitzmaurice?
I think it should be Ed.
Ed?
Yes.
Okay, can you get a copy of that and communicate it for us?
Depending on whether.
Well, have a backup.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Helicopter.
okay. You'll take it and run with it. Okay, thank you.
This document was 2012. That's when the same thing y'all are signing. It's been around for a long time. It's amazing that it hasn't hit this before.
Okay, thank you. All right. Any other report from the FRL board members? Anything else? Ed, you got anything else?
I have a question for the FRL board members. Is there an ad hoc committee working on the collection development policy? Yes. Was there one last year when we all?
Yes, there was last December.
It seems to be a major overhaul again.
It's tabled right now, we're looking at it, comparing it, and we've already, like we discussed, took out the ALA information, we're all reading it, and
Well, let me correct that statement. We agreed to look at it to take out the references to the ALA. The whole statement is basically ALA.
but we haven't really made a decision.
There's no ad hoc committee
No,
appointed?
not at this point.
but there may be, to have a further review of it at the meeting. That's possible.
Is it,
Maybe even likely.
it wasn't tabled, it's a new thing. It wasn't,
It was-
It was agreed to hold off on any changes or revisions.
So will that be on the agenda for?
Yes.
Okay.
And both of these things will be signed.
Another question, so did the Macon board provide input to the collection development policy last December?
Yes, we did. There was one person from each county.
Right, but was it discussed in a meeting? Did
No,
you
it
send
was
any
not.
overtures and that sort of thing? It was just the 3 members.
Well, they said,
After we came up with it, we put it out there for the Fontana Regional Board to approve or to make any changes or to discuss.
it was sent out to all the board members
Yes.
prior to the meeting,
In
Yes.
September of
Yes.
last year.
whenever it was.
So how long has it been under consideration? Approximately?
The board saw it at the September 12th meeting, the FRL board tabled it because it was just a review. At the November meeting, it was tabled until January.
Okay.
Wasn't the September meeting, did not have a quorum?
Correct. Yeah, but it was sent out to,
So everything at the September meeting was tabled,
yes.
essentially?
Those two items were. Those two
Well,
items.
everything pretty much, you couldn't vote.
Yeah.
Anything else with FRL?
But we, as the advisory board, we can make suggestions, just as Ed has done.
That's what it does.
Since it's a major revision, I've looked over the major revisions, and it seems that the revisions err on the side of silencing patrons rather than listening to patrons. And I think that's been part of the problem the last year at least, especially since Dr. Hope, the First Amendment pro bono attorney, has come on board. As a First Amendment attorney, his first order of business was silencing public comment.
Well, that was actually in our bylaws.
I know that's been stated before, but still, there wasn't a vote from the governing board. So considering that, I would like to propose to the Fontana board, and I'd like to send an overture to the Fontana board, and to have them consider.
Is this a motion?
I'm getting to the motion,
Okay,
yes, yes,
sorry.
yes. I would like to propose that the Fontana Board adopt the following statement as part of their newly revised collection development policy in an effort to bring clarity and unity on this issue. The issue being, there's been intense interest and at times misunderstanding from the public concerning the perceived attempt by some patrons to ban and censor books. This proposed statement, quote, "The library will neither promote nor censor any particular religious, moral, philosophical, or political conviction or opinion. This type of statement ensures that the library will remain politically and socially neutral, which should move towards bringing harmony to our community, because so far the library has not issued this type of statement. This statement also supports the amendments to the FRL contract, which our county commissioners unanimously approved on November 14th. This seems to be a unifying statement. Therefore, yes, I would like to make a motion that we send an overture to the Fontana Board to include this statement, which is, quote, "The library will neither promote nor censor any particular religious, moral, philosophical, or political conviction or opinion." And I have a copy here for you to look at, of the statement.
Notice you did include socially, even though in the next sentence, you've got such a statement ensures the library will remain politically and socially neutral, but you didn't include
That could be added as well.
I just seemed like it, like,
Right, that is the language in the FRL contract, which has been approved by the commissioners to remain politically and socially neutral.
Could you read that again a little louder?
Yes, the library will neither promote nor censor any particular religious, moral, philosophical, or political conviction or opinion. I think that's a unifying statement as far as what's been going on the last several years. The library won't promote or censor any particular ideology.
Would you send that to the FRL email so that they get,
Yes, well, I'm making a formal motion.
So I'll second that motion.
The motion is what's in bold.
Yes, that statement.
Okay.
Yes.
Further discussion?
Again, I would say to include socially, since, as you said, it was both in the commissioners approved and in the next statement saying that it would ensure the library remains politically and socially neutral.
Right, so political or social conviction or opinion. So that can be added. as
So
well.
you're amending,
I did, yes, I did.
I couldn't hear exactly what was said. What was added?
Yes. Or political or social conviction or opinion.
So we're just adding
It is-
or social after political?
Or
Or social.
political or social conviction or opinion.
Can you read that once more
Catherine, you got that?
in its completion?
Yes.
Did you get that? Ms.
The
Catherine?
library.
Okay.
The library will neither promote nor censor any particular religious, moral, philosophical, or political or social conviction or opinion.
Be socially neutral.
So we take out an or.
Take out-
We
Take out an or and
take out
add
an
a-
or and add social. So it now reads, the library will neither promote nor censor any particular religious, moral, philosophical, political, or social conviction or opinion.
Yes.
Got that?
Yes.
Ms. Hardison, you got it?
I got it.
So Lee, are you asking the,
Wait just a second, we got a motion, we need a second.
sort of
It's
the
second.
Second, okay, go ahead, discussion.
So, just to be clear, are you asking Fontana to particular sentence into the collection development policy?
Yes, that's
This is a
the
recommendation.
recommendation for the FRA.
Okay.
Further discussion, comments? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
I don't, did they,
We were talking.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, just to be careful here. Motion has been made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Unanimously.
That too. All right, anything else about FRL?
One other item that we did not discuss that was handed out previously about the new item that was signed by our governor.
Ed, excuse me for interrupting you, that was included in our
Package.
Comment package.
So, but go ahead, you certainly have a right to comment, so I just wanted you to be aware that everybody did receive this information.
Basically, this is thanking the Governor Cooper, realizing the necessity of uniting with others to protect children from sexual and occult propaganda, while still upholding the First Amendment. And it states basically in this legislation, it shall be unlawful for any person, firm, person, 18 years of age or older, or corporation to knowing and intentionally create, buy, procure, or possess obscene material with the purpose and intent of disseminating it unlawfully. It shall be unlawful for a person, corporation, et cetera, to hold out by said person, corporation as obscene violation of any person who knowingly violates this section in the presence of a minor under 18 years of age shall be guilty of a Class H felony.
Okay. That, we'll go back to that on the submission of public comments, but if everybody's agreeable, we'll just move on from there. Hudson Library report.
Interest of time, I would just say that the last couple of months, last year and a half, the Hudson Board has decided that the Hudson Library needs a major upgrade, as well as we've got a small area in the back. You might remember from our last meeting, and we've decided to do some landscape work in there behind it. So we have engaged the services of a really good landscape architect, and he's now drawing the plans for the outside. And as far as the inside, we're moving. It's a little bit slowly, but we're moving to really upgrade and make some changes in the library that I think is really going to be a plus. We figured that we've got to raise about $1,250,000. We've got some funds in our savings that's maybe a third of that, but we're probably going to raise 100% of that this summer and through the fall of next year. But we're moving ahead with because the landscape work on the outside is much smaller, maybe around $250,000, and we can get going on that right now. You have a copy of that.
Yeah, I don't know if y'all remember receiving it.
Yeah, but you're saying you're paying for another drawing, or is that the same drawing? I thought you just said,
Well, we're now honing, getting priced, the landscape architect who drew this, we've given him the authority to go ahead and really make specifics and start getting prices on it. So
It was like a rendering or something, it wasn't the actual.
So things are going to slow down a little bit in the wintertime, but we're making slow progress with that.
So maybe you can get.
Yeah, we're looking for grants right now to help us.
Okay, thank you for that report. Anything else? Hudson. Okay, moving on to old business, Nantahala Community Library Facility. Ms. Hardison gave a snippet of that. Ed, you got more than a snippet to share with us?
I do. Good news and bad news. Good news, the doors and the windows have been received. The opening, since the doors were the wrong size, was made bigger so that the doors would fit in there. So the doors and the windows are there. The bad news is somebody stole the air conditioning. So, and it's amazing because those doors and windows were just sitting outside, just leaning up against the wall for weeks. Nobody touched them. But evidently somebody was interested in the air conditioning unit, so.
That or the copper in the.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
It could be, it could be.
is that covered by insurance? You don't know?
It's county.
It's county, okay.
We did receive not a nice picture like that Wood was showing. This is kind of what we received as far as a floor plan. Looks like it
Cardboard
was-
box?
Looks like it was drawn by a third grader. I think we got it from Bill. Later, so we, Sharon kind of upgraded that and made it a much better picture. Have you seen that, Abby?
I have not yet.
So basically, there's in the two corners one corner is a room being made for the computer equipment and so on. In the other corner, there will be a room such as the public rooms here. You only need one. And then there's a computer table, long table, and that's where the computers will go.
Thank you, Tracy.
And over in the other corner is the reception desk and so on, as well as a kitchen. Now, reasonable people might say, why do we need two kitchens in this little building? Because we have a community club that wants to use their end of the building and have a kitchen and not allow the library end of the building to use their kitchen. So if that's not the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. But the thing is, the library has public programs all during the month where they need to utilize the kitchens and so on. All this kitchen uses us as a room for a refrigerator. So I guess what the library will have to do is reserve that end of the building on certain days that the library, which is public programs, to utilize. So it's it makes no sense, but that's
What it is.
that's all.
Is that it? Thank you, Ed, appreciate it. Sorry, the dynamics are not ideal. Any other old business? Hearing none, moving on to new business, we've already, I think if I counted correctly, there were 14 public comments submitted in writing. Everybody received those. Ed's already commented on one of the items. Any other comments or responses?
I just wanted to comment about many comments for praising you, Abby, for your excellent work, and I just want to add my thank you for all your hard work, and we also appreciate you keeping the library politically and socially neutral in the last year.
I give all the credit to my wonderful staff. They are fantastic.
Thank you very much.
Certainly echo that. That.
Anything else about public comments? Excuse me, approval of the meeting schedule for 2024. Did everybody receive that?
Yes.
Any response?
I have a
comments?
response.
Yes, ma'am.
There are 4 meetings over here, only 1 in Highlands. I love that windy road, but wouldn't it be nice if we had at least 2 in Highlands? Could we do that? And hopefully, like the ones when it gets dark early. I have a driver, but I can't see to drive at night. So it would be so nice if another one was over there.
It's tricky, that's a tough road.
It is.
It is.
We have 6 meetings a year, so.
So I'm only asking for 1 extra one in Highlands, that makes 2. Because there are 4 that are here in Franklin. And I love you all so much, but it's hard all the time to get here. So if maybe that Tuesday, December 3rd meeting could be in Highlands, that would just make me so happy.
Ms. Hardison, is that's something?
That is y'all's decision.
Yeah, that's our decision, and
Do we-
I'm gonna
Good.
think that's a great idea.
You drafted that, so I wondered if we need to have a motion, or you just as administrator?
We need a motion.
Okay.
So I'd like to, okay.
Why don't we do
Oh,
the
what are the-
October instead? That way you have 2 in a row.
Well,
There.
it's December, what's the one that's dark? Is, I think, what was that?
Yeah, that's the
Well, it
thing.
would be less dark in October.
There'll be less dark.
I wonder,
Yeah.
when you start the construction in Bryson City, is that really going to impede the ability to have meetings at that library?
No. They're doing it sectionally.
So the motion.
about the schedule.
Yes, please. So I'd like to make a motion that the Tuesday, October 1st meeting be changed to Hudson in Highlands and changed from Franklin so that it's more fun. You want a second?
I'll second.
Second, someone that travels to Highlands almost.
Every day.
Not the last 12 years, so I'm already up there.
So what's the problem?
I didn't bring it up.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion about the schedule?
That, which,
I picked the October one.
Yeah, that's an odd time to drive up there.
Everybody,
That's right, you get to see the leaves.
everybody got the motion and the date? We have a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Justin, you weren't going to oppose that?
I'll stay quiet for now.
thanks, everybody.
Yes.
No,
I got one coming at the
Well,
end, so.
that's reasonable. Upcoming opening on the NCPL board. If my information is right, in the last, I don't know if y'all have a copy of the Macon County Public Library Board of Trustees. This was revised 3/8/22, so I guess it needs to be upgraded because there's people on here that have been replaced. But according to my understanding, Ed, your term expires, you've had 2 3-year terms on February the 9th, 2024. Is that your understanding?
Yes.
So do we need to notify the commissioners of this? Or I don't know what the procedure is at this point, what we need to do next. Ed's aware of it and that he will be finishing his second term. So,
There was something in this information you wrote about that,
Yeah, it was Marcia Moxley.
Marcia Moxley, yes.
Well, Marcia Moxley is to replace the other Highlands
She's
board
replacing-
member.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah,
But,
Marcia's replacing Bill Trotter,
Right,
who
right.
he resigned on August 4th.
Yes, yeah.
So that's his
That's-
replacement.
yeah, that's his replacement, but that's in the-
A replacement for Ed also has to be done, and I guess while we're talking about it, Woods, I think it's your second term, if I'm correct. His expires July 13th.
Of Macon County.
And- Yeah, for this board. So we're looking at 2 replacements in the next 6 months,
Okay.
essentially.
And Wood's replacement would also have to come from the Hudson board. And Ed's replacement, we don't have a specific, Nantahala doesn't have a board. The question would be, and is, the person filling Ed's replacement ideally would be someone from that community that would be able to represent their.
Y'all in agreement with that? I hope
Yeah.
we can do it. It's
Yeah.
not formal, but
Yeah.
do y'all catch what we were saying?
I've talked to a couple of people from Nantahala, and I'm trying to get a firm commitment from them as to whether they're interested.
Did you give them instructions about how to apply and the process? Okay, so they're aware of that. Well, thank you for doing that, Ed. That's good. And recruiting, I guess. Anything else about the upcoming replacement for Ed? Wood, are your folks aware of? Sure. Okay. All right. Board of Trustees offers officer elections.
Bill, I heard you're gonna run again.
Pardon?
Can I nominate you again?
Probably not. If y'all would just take one of these, invariably, even with our best intentions and efforts, it seems like the officer elections and the process kind of slips up on us every year, and we're kind of scrambling. And this is an effort to get everybody moving together. And there's no need to read this whole thing, but it's basically a timeline. It says officers of Macon County Public Library Board of Trustees shall be chosen annually at the regular June meeting. They shall be chairman and vice chairman / secretary. So what I would like for each of you to do is consider being on, if you would like to be on the nomination committee. It's an ad hoc committee that you could have a couple of months to think about it, and if you would come back at our December meeting,
You're sitting.
I'm sorry, at our February meeting, ready to step up and volunteer.
Or be drafted.
Or be drafted. So anyway, this is just a timeline, there's no need to spend a lot of time on it, but just so we can process this together and move together on it, that's all that is. Any questions or comments about it? I hope you will consider. Any other new business?
Yeah, I have one thing, and so if everyone just seconds it and ayes it, then we can get out of here quickly. I didn't realize we were going to be talking about so many overtures today, but I'd like to open a discussion regarding our library board sending an overture or a statement of good faith to the Fontana Regional Library Board regarding the newly amended FRL contract. Can we discuss that momentarily? I'll get to the motion in a second.
We have the commissioners that.
Yes.
Is that
Yeah, that contract.
That's
that-
gone to Swain and.
Yes.
Their
Yeah,
recommendations.
regarding that, yeah.
Sure.
So, as many of y'all know, we're at year 10, and it's time for the contract renewal. These three counties are the ones who fund the FRL. The last few years, we all already referenced this, have been fraught with controversy and divisiveness. My concern is that if the FRL resists the newly amended contract, it will just go to further show potentially an unwillingness to compromise and an unwillingness to have accountability from the governmental bodies that funds them. Essentially, our democratically elected commissioners voted unanimously to approve this newly amended contract. So I think it would go a long ways in showing unity, which we have been severely lacking, with our governmental representatives and the community at large. Also, it's worth noting, for those who have seen the contract, that no single group of citizens are getting everything that they desired with the recent submitted public comments. No one is getting everything that they want in this new contract that's been made by the county attorneys. There are positives for both, for those on both sides of the aisle, and I believe that that's a win for everybody involved. In summary, I believe it would be a helpful show of unity in these times for us as a board to send an overture of good faith to the FRL Board of Trustees to encourage them to receive the new contract as it stands and work diligently to abide by it for the next 10, hopefully more peaceful years. And I wrote down the motion and the overture verbatim, if you'd like me to read that to Abby. Essentially, it would say...
Are you doing the motion?
Yes, yes. Men and women of the Fontana Regional Library Board, the Macon County Public Library Board of Trustees would like to send this overture or sign of good faith to you in support of the new Fontana Regional Library contract. With all the turmoil over the last few years regarding a variety of different issues, we believe that the approval and acceptance of this newly amended contract will do much in the way of promoting unity and community. Issue after issue has been brought up and has caused a rift in our community. This contract does a good job of meeting the demands of both sides of the aisle. We're seeking to show our support of the commissioners of our county, as well as the Fontana Regional Library itself, by sending this sign of good faith to you. Thank you for your consideration. Sincerely, Macon County Public Library Board of Trustees.
So all of that was the motion?
Yeah,
Okay,
for them to receive,
right.
yes.
And I'll second that motion.
It's gonna make it a lot easier
Oh,
for
just take it,
myself.
just take it. Here,
Thanks.
I'll email it to others as well if you want to.
I'm still trying to absorb all of it. I'm aware of
Yeah.
what they,
You should hear him preach.
I'd like to.
You need to.
Yeah, so the motion is to send an overture to the FRL,
Supporting what the.
supporting what the commissioners did and supporting them in their decision to also support the commissioners, right?
Okay.
Yeah, but I just
So-
basically expanded that.
There are parts of that contract that I agree with, and there are some that I don't agree with.
Mhm.
So I can't vote for that, I'm sorry.
And to me, it sounds, it sounds a lot more harsh than it really is. Yes, there have been some disagreements, but I would go on record and say that, that the tenet of that motion, Justin, is probably more harsh than what I would agree with. I mean, there's been some disagreement, but if we're just talking about that we want, that the Macon County Library Board wants to go on record that we want to try and keep the harmony and just, I don't know, I just, we can always vote on it and decide.
Well, it's gotten to the point where we've suspended the public comment at meetings like this. So that seems like a sign of things aren't going, jiving really well with the public and with the boards right now. And all I'm wanting to do with this is to say that we as a board support the decision of our governing body of county commissioners.
No.
That's essentially what I'm saying.
May I just say that the commissioners have not sent that to the Fontana Regional Board. So they have not, I know some people have seen it because they were at the meeting, but it
I
has,
haven't seen it.
no, it hasn't been sent to the board.
Okay.
So they have not received it yet from the commissioners.
Okay.
And we're in discussion here. One of my concerns is you're talking about unity, and I'm all for unity, but I don't think the commissioners developing a new contract without even discussing it with or getting input from the Fontana Regional Board shows signs of unity. So I don't know how we can support this in saying that we want to have unity if we're not including people in decision making.
Commissioners don't have to.
I'm sorry, no interruptions, please.
Thank
I mean, without seeing it, I understand what you're doing, Justin, but without seeing it, I don't know, we don't know what it says.
That's, yeah, I mean, it's right on,
It hasn't been shared from the commissioners to the Fontana Regional Library Board.
It's in the newspapers. It's in the newspapers.
I read about it, but nothing has been sent to them officially. Nothing has been sent officially. And I will email Mr. Rowland, or would you email Mr. Rowland?
Have them email the document to officially, to the FRL board, okay.
so we have to vote on this.
Call for the question, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Yeah. So that's 3.
Okay.
Four.
So passes.
So motion passes. Any other business? Hearing none,
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
The last one?
The closing? That was,
All the good to make me is audio issues with the video, and I'll try to fix it if I can. Thank you all for watching and putting up with it.
I'm good. Are you still civic?